Hey, what's up my fellow golf ball addicts? Hope you all are having a wonderful day. It is a beautiful cloudless day in the sky. I could not be more happy to be here with you. Now you guys know that usually I bring you all kinds of wonderful top tier golf ball content, but every once in a while I kind of like to mix it up. You know, I do a lot of reviews every year and it's just nice every once in a while to kind of break up the normal content and do something a little different. And I've been wanting to do this one for a while. I've been doing some research. I've been kind of gathering some data. These are 5 golf tips that have really helped my game out a lot over the last 5 years, and I think they help a lot of beginners. I use them when I teach a lot. Now bear in mind, if you're new to the channel, I am no PGA teacher. I'm just going to tell you that up front. I'm a guy who knows a lot about golf balls, probably too much. I could probably bore you to death, but I do know enough to know that there are some really good tips for intermediate golfers, for beginner golfers. But I want to tell you my 5 favorite right now for sure. Now this is a little pre-tip right here, but the first pre-tip I have: golf is a game of focus, 110%. You have to stay focused all the time. Look at Tiger Woods, look at the greatest. I stay focused personally with Magic Mind. Magic Mind is my go-to when it comes to focus, clarity, getting rid of mental fog. It helps me a ton with this channel. It helps me a ton with life, but it also definitely helps me with golf quite a bit. So I love having these. They're easy, they're portable, they're on the go. Right now you can get these for 48% off if you use my code. That's in the description. Thank you so much. Love it. I will pick that up, I promise. I'm not a litter bug. So let's go ahead and dive into number 1. All right, so tip number 1 is always keep your head down. Now, before I lose you here, I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh yeah, good tip, Nick. I've heard that a million times in my life. That's very true. Most people know, even beginner golfers or intermediate, one of the first things they get told is to keep their head down, which obviously on full shots makes a lot of sense, right? If I am here to dress and I come down here and I'm right about, down here at the bottom of my swing, if I start to lift my head, I'm going to lift my body with it. And what's going to happen is I'm going to end up blading the golf ball. Even something that feels like a really good shot, more than likely is just going to end up as a small blade, and you might not even know it. I know a lot of people who blade the golf ball and don't even know it, but I want to specifically talk about 2 areas of your golf game where keeping your head down is important, but a lot of people don't think about it or take it as seriously as much. Okay, and the first one is chipping. So short game, a lot of people, now I see people make this mistake all the time, in all honesty, and what they'll do is they get a chip. They have it, let's say, you're just off the green, it's just a little too far for the Texas wedge, or maybe you have some rough to go through and you got to chip it up right. Now, I'm actually a pretty decent chipper. It's the best part of my game, although that ain't saying much, the bar ain't high. But what I see guys do all the time is they see the hole and they just get too excited. They want to see that golf ball have a chance to go in the hole. And so again, just a nice little back, and then they kind of lift up right here. And as you can see, you're going to lift your body up premature to when you should. You're going to blade it, and what's going to happen is you're going to get something kind of like this. Off to the right, terrible. I was aiming here. I actually still hit the ball pretty decent, but a lot of guys will just blade it, skull it across the green. It's not good. So what you want to do is you want to get in this habit of when you're chipping. Now, a lot of guys will just compensate, and you'll hear this rule all the time. Oh, put the weight on your front foot, really take all of it out of there, bump and run. And you can do that. If you're a beginner golfer and you want to bump and run, that's great. I've never personally done it, but everyone's different. You got to find out what's good for your game and stick with it. For me personally though, get in the habit of just, see how my head's just staying down the whole time? Just get in that habit to where you're just not focused on it, because I promise you, you're going to hit more toward the hole. You're going to have way better consistency on your ball striking. It's a very big deal. But other than chipping, the most important one, the one that I really see people avoid or just not pay that much attention to, is putting. Putting, this was a big one for me. I have struggled a long time, even as, I was 25 years ago when I kind of started this out. I had to get back in the rhythm, hadn't played golf. I got down now to where I'm a 9 now, and even as a 9 handicap, this really is difficult for me to sometimes do, but you want to keep your head down even through the putt. What I've been doing lately is same concept. I'll come back, I'll start to lift my head right about here, and what that causes you to do is kind of close the face a little. I pull a lot of my putts just slightly left, and so I've been really trying the last couple weeks to practice, and what a difference it makes. What you're going to want to do, get nice and square here, find your target, go through your pre-shot, all the stuff you normally do. You want to make sure everything's buttoned up. But when you putt this golf ball, make sure you keep that head down, and it really does make a difference. Now, some people I've seen online will keep their head down through the whole shot. I've seen even guys like Dustin Johnson mention about how he won't even look up until the ball's at the hole or past it. For most average golfers, what I would recommend is just count a second. When you putt it, just go 1 Mississippi in your head and then look up, because you do want to see what the break does. You want to see if you misread it. You want to see if it goes past the hole or if it's short, whatever. You want to know feedback for your game for sure, but you do want to at least count off that 1,000. Come back, boom, 1 Mississippi, look up. And you should be able to get in that habit. And once you do, you'll start to shave 2 or 3 strokes off your game. I've seen it with many different golfers. All right, now number 2 is one of my favorite tips of all time. I use it when I'm teaching new people or like friends and family, or if I'm giving somebody advice and they're struggling with an issue. That is, don't make the same mistake twice. When you are first starting out golf, it's an experiment game. It's like a chemistry lab, basically. You're gonna do a lot of trying this and that and, you know, different grips and swing paths and styles. You wanna do that. You wanna find out as early as possible what works and what doesn't. Now, you also wanna get consistent and you wanna get muscle memory. So there's a fine line there. But you do wanna kind of experiment at first and figure out, okay, what is right? Because what your brain tells you right off the bat might not be what actually is correct. Let me give you a great example of where this comes into play. So when I say don't make the same mistake twice, a lot of the time, let's say someone comes to me and they have a problem missing right. That's very common for golfers, right? And say maybe everything else is okay. You know, they got a basic setup here. They have their swing, you know, and they come back. Oh man, it went way right. You know, I struggle with that. How do I get I always tell them, don't make the same mistake twice. Now what I want you to do is I want you to pull it left. I want you to just shoot it over there to the left of the net. I want it to go foul ball left side, right? And the reason I do that is because 9 times out of 10, what people will do is they will change their swing a little bit. They'll change the path. They might break the wrist more. Everyone's different because, again, you're trying to get a feel for that. But what a lot of guys will do is they'll pull left and their brain will be firing at them. Hey, that's wrong, no. But then they hit it straight, and that happens a lot. So they hit one right, I say, hey, don't make the same mistake twice, now pull one way left. And they'll go, oh, okay, I'll pull it left, you got it. Oh, wait, it's straight, it's right down the middle. And then I'll tell them, hey, what your brain is telling you, hey, that's weird, I don't like that, that's just because you haven't built that muscle memory yet. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Keep doing that until it becomes comfortable. This is also going to apply to short and, you know, far and long and left and right. It's going to apply to everything. Don't make the same mistake twice. Don't be afraid to mix things up. Don't be afraid to try new things. And once you get it and you get comfortable with it, then create that muscle memory. But golf at the beginning is definitely about experimentation. And last but not least, if you're someone who feels like they are trying different stuff and you're pulling and you're like, it's still going right and I'm still making the same mistake, but I feel, don't be afraid to ask a family member, a friend, a fellow golfer, your spouse, whoever, to film your swing. So many times I've seen a golfer, I'm like, hey, have you ever filmed your swing? Oh, no, I don't have any need for that. I don't want to see it. I show it to them, and within 5 seconds, they're like, oh, wow, is that what I'm doing? I'm coming that far? Oh, wow, okay, yeah, okay, let me change that. Boom, problem solved. It was something that could have taken 30 seconds. Now, this is one I know that many of you have heard, and that's don't swing too hard. But there's a really important reason that don't swing too hard exists, right? There are some people, everyone's heard this, but I still have some people that occasionally say, yeah, you know, I get it, don't swing too hard, I gotta take a little distance off. And that's where I have to correct them and go, now hold on a second, that's where you're getting confused. Taking a little off and swinging smooth does not mean losing distance, and I'll tell you why. So for a long time, I struggled out here. In fact, many of my golf ball addicts will know that last year I gained about 10 mile an hour of swing speed over the course of the year by getting better. And that's because, I'll be real with you, I mean, I was ripping it. I was learning to just rip it every single time, and you're building muscle doing that. And what happened over time is that my accuracy really went down a lot. I mean, yeah, I was striking the ball great, but my accuracy was all over the place. It looked like a shotgun spread, to be honest with you. So I wasn't a big fan of it. But the thing I realized is that I finally got to a point where I said, okay, Nick, you're swinging way too fast. You need to just go back to an average swing speed and do what you need to do. And so I took the club, did a nice easy swing, and I got the same distance. And I went, wait a minute. And then I did a nice easy swing again, and I got more distance. And I said, well, wait a minute. And that's when I realized something. The majority of the speed when it comes to hitting the golf ball is actually achieved at the bottom of your swing. So a lot of guys, beginners, intermediates, what they do is they come back here, right? And then they rip down really hard. They're trying to create speed up here up top. You don't want that. That's going to create that dispersion we don't like. It's going to be inaccurate. You're going to get left, right. You're going to top the ball. You're going to duff it. You're going to do all kinds of crap. Even professionals, if you wonder how they swing so smooth, it's because their speed is actually through the bottom of the swing. So that's important. Come back nice and smooth tempo. I mean, really good tempo. Think tempo. Come back nice and smooth. And then what you do is you're going to want to come down nice and smooth. But when you get to here, that's when you release and you let it rip through, because that's where you want your speed to come through. Now again, I'm not a PGA teacher, so all that's not maybe the technical way to do it, but the reason I want you to really get it in your head, okay, I don't need to swing hard, is because one, you actually might gain distance. I mean, I've seen guys gain distance from doing it. Two, it is going to improve your accuracy. It is going to improve your ball striking. It's actually a win-win-win. A lot of guys think it's a win-lose, like, okay, I'll have to sacrifice a little bit of distance. Not the case, so keep that in mind. All right, so this next one is definitely a mindset change. Change the word par to bogey in your mind, because a lot of golfers, you know, from all different handicaps, all different styles, all different, anything, all the time I see them getting upset and they're not getting pars. And I've seen 30 handicaps that, you know, will hit a bogey, and I'm like, you know what, that was a pretty good hole, and they're like, it's not par. At a 28 handicap, that's not what you're shooting for. In golf, I always tell people there's two rules when you play golf, if you're playing with me. One, your only goal is really to get better, and two, have fun. And to have fun, of course, if you're not having fun, what's the point in playing? But that number one, your only goal is to get better. If you're a 30 handicap, at the end of your round, you're trying to get it to a 29. You're trying to get it to a 28. You're not trying to get it down to scratch from 28. And you got to get in that mindset. You cannot be this hard on yourself. Sometimes you're going to have to take your medicine. If you're behind a tree and you know that you can't really get it through, and instead of trying to split those trees and end up hitting it and knocking it back 40 yards, just take your medicine, punch out, and go for the bogey. And when you do, it's going to really change your mindset on how you view the game. You're going to have a lot more fun. You're going to be a lot more relaxed. And when that happens, you're going to shoot lower scores. And again, if you go from a 22 and you have a bunch of, let's say you bogey every hole, that's going to bring that handicap down. That's all you're trying to do. And then once you get to a 17, 16, 15, yeah, you should start to see a couple. Did you hear that word I just said there? A couple of pars mixed in here and there, but it's still not the standard. Golf is a hard game, and even pros sometimes don't do good here. I just watched a women's tournament. It was the AAC tournament at my work. Some of them very good, shooting 68, 69 is great, but there was a couple of 82s, 86, 81, even for people who have been doing it their whole life and are good, have bad days, have bad holes. Change your mindset, it will be a lot better. And this last tip, honestly, is one that, I mean, a lot of you might not have access to. I understand this is a little more of a toughie one, but know your distances. So this is something that a lot of beginner and intermediate struggle with. And the big fallacy I see is that every golf shot, you're going to have a range, right? When I test golf balls all the time, there's a range, there's a dispersion. My worst might be, let's say with a 9-iron, my worst might be 138, but my best might be 147, right? Well, that's an 8-yard difference. So many times I will see beginner golfers hit a few shots, they really pure that one, and they get it to go the 148, or it might be different for them, and they go, okay, my 9-iron goes 148, and that's what they lock into their brain. No, 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 no. It is very important whenever you get a new set of clubs, whenever, maybe when you're starting the season up. Some of you might be able to get a little portable launch monitor like the Mevo for 500 or a Swing Caddy for 400. If not, go to a Golf Galaxy, go to a PGA Superstore, get as close as you can, any golf fitter, and just say, hey, I need 30 minutes to figure out my distances. And what you do is you hit 10 golf shots with each club, and then you take the averages of all those distances. That's what you need to lock into your head. What's the average I hit this club? Because what's going to happen is you're going to see that 148 and go, yeah, that's what my 9-iron goes, because you pured one time in 2017. And then you're going to say, okay, yeah, I'm 148 from the pin. Cool, yeah, actually I'm 150 from the pin. 148 will put it about 2 yards short. I want to be short of it anyway because I have a better putt. Okay, cool, I'll use that club. Well, then really you hit it 142, which is your actual average. Now all of a sudden you're off the green and you're chipping. What happens on the chip? You skull it. What happens after you skull it? You skull it again. What happens after you skull it again? You 3-putt. What happens after you 3-putt? You throw your club. It just goes on and on from there, and it's really disappointing. Your friends laugh at you. It's not good. The reality is that you got to just be honest with yourself. Golfers are big liars all the time. How far you can hit your club is not how far you hit your club, your averages. Sometimes you might have a 138 or a 137. Sometimes you might have that 147. You want to be in the middle, that way you stay on the green. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was so nice to get out and just do something different. Like I said, I'm no PGA teacher, but I really do like these lessons and tips, and I think these will help a lot of different golfers from a wide variety of handicaps, playing styles, geographical location, who knows. Also, I would like to thank Magic Mind. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I could not do the videos I do without them and without this mental clarity that these give me. Thank you so much. Be sure to check out that link in the description. Guys, as always, keep watching, keep saving, keep learning. Until next time, I'll see you soon.